Those of us who grew up in narcissistic family systems or have spent some time in narcissistic relationships may struggle with feelings of depression, anxiety, low self esteem, a feeling of emptiness, perhaps a sense of feeling lost. And for those of us who are highly sensitive, if you're not familiar with Dr. Elaine Aron's work, she speaks to this. Actually, people who are highly sensitive actually struggle even more from the effects of narcissistic abuse. And so I've seen that in myself as I'm both. I grew up in a narcissistic family system and I am highly sensitive. And so in the work that I do in coaching people is I start with having people make conscious the programs that are running in the background of their life, and such as some of these programs are identities and deficiency stories, such as I'm not good enough, I don't matter, I'll never succeed, whatever it might be for you specifically. And we make these conscious and write them down in a journal. And then in the emotional repression work, which helps transmute the energy that's on these programs that's actually in our bodies. So actually, I was walking around with a lot of trauma stored in my body most of my life, actually. A lot of tension in my jaw and my throat and my upper back and my heart area. And I've unloaded a lot of the contraction and the energy of the trauma suit out of my body in doing the work that I coach people with. So once we make these identities conscious, then we work on whatever the buried emotion is for you specifically. So we all have repressed fear, and then we work with either the anger or sadness and hurt, depending on your specific personality and what did not feel safe to express when you were a child. It might have been both. So I just thought I'd share a little bit about this, and I think a lot of people have these programs like I don't matter, I'm not good enough, and people don't realize that most people out there in the world have similar programs to us. However, some of us struggle more or are more sensitive to the energy in our bodies, and the fact that we're more sensitive doesn't mean that people that aren't as sensitive don't need to do this work either, because it helps everyone. Although in my experience, it's the people that are more sensitive, that struggle more, like the highly sensitive people, that are drawn maybe to this work a little bit more because it is so painful for them. So anyhow, thanks for listening.